Hello there, and thank you for joining me for the Caradon's men's first team end of season speech. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge that this isn't the speech that any of us have wanted. Firstly, I'm sober, mostly, and for the rest of you, you should all be sober. However, you are more likely to remember the speech, so that is a downside. On the bright side, my speech will not be stolen prior to me going on stage by Martin Batty, and Nathan will not be able to give me any milky cocktails this year. Before we get started with the speech, I'd like to make a couple thank yous. I'd like to thank our coaches who enable us to play the sport that we love. I'd like to thank the committee members, without whose tireless efforts all this would not be possible. And finally, I'd like to thank our umpires who ensure an enjoyable, fair game for us all. Now, on to my season with my team. I'd like to say that I have had a great season playing with such a great bunch of boys. They've really made this season great for me, and hopefully they've represented the club in a great way. We've had a couple new additions to the team this year. First of all, Will Turpin secured his spot in the first team this year, so big congratulations to him. And we've had 3 new faces don the gold and a red shirt this year. We've had Simon Roberts, Henry Stevens, and the long-awaited Matt Bell, all of which have proved invaluable in our first season in Southern 1. The first team's ethos is to score first, score again, and then score the most. However, this does leave our defence open to attack. I really think they've stepped up to the plate this year. More than once they've rescued a result from the jaws of defeat. Our midfield are the workhorse of the team, covering large sections of the pitch, covering for wandering defenders, as well as supporting attacks, and between them scoring a whopping 35 goals. Our gun-ho forwards also like to score goals, but that's a given. However, the biggest achievement for them is the way that they set the press and work tirelessly to turn the ball over in the opposition half. So on to the season. We have played 21 of our 22 games. We lost 6, drew 3, and won 12. During that time, we scored a huge 80 goals. We conceded 50, but that gave us a positive goal difference of 30, and we ended up a comfortable 3rd at the end of the season. One of the things I love about Caradon Hockey Club is the off-pitch antics. This year, the highlights included a train trip to Totnes, and on the way back, a couple of bottles of port before hitting the well-renowned Boscarn. And this season, we had a very timely night out in Oakhampton before what proved to be the last game of the season. Now, moving on to the more important parts of the end of the year speech. Each year, I like to award a Captain's Player of the Year. Normally, I give this to 1 player, but this year I've decided to give it to 2. Now, these players managed to take a skiing holiday, going from Sunday to Friday, playing both Saturday games. As a captain, I love the commitment from each of these players to be able to do that. So this year, my Captain's Player of the Year goes to Finn and Dan. Now, firstly, Finn, you get this lovely bottle of Prosecco as an award. And Dan will get this vintage bottle of Morrison's finest plummy and fruity Merlot. Enjoy. Now, we are going to go to the most prestigious award of the year, Dick of the Year. This is normally given to somebody who has accumulated a lot of mistakes throughout the year, can't control their mouth and ends up talking utter rubbish, or thirdly, has a hands down, or in this case, knees first, experience. This player was not in the vicinity of any other Caradon members when this incident happened. In fact, they were on the other side of the earth, where they attempted to perform a backflip, landing on their knees and shattering both. This year's Dick of the Year goes to Tyler Walsh. And if all of you would please be standing on Tyler's behalf and give him a round of applause. Well, that's about it from me. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who's contributed to this season, and I'd like to say thank you for all of you who are still listening. I really look forward to seeing you pitch side next year, and hopefully in person at next year's end of season dinner. Thank you very much, and cheers.